Hey, happy Thursday, everyone. Hope you are doing well. And this is a beautiful day that God has made. So we are glad and we rejoice in it. And we are continuing with Passion Week and talking about what happened every day. This is in the raw, of course, unscripted, unpracticed, unedited conversation. And I like to call Thursday, what happened Thursday, I like to call it Come to the Table. Because something happened that is there's a fly flying around here in front of my face. Something very interesting happened on Thursday at the table. And I want you to imagine this. It's 6 p.m. in the afternoon, in the evening. And right at 6, the trumpets in the temple sounded, announcing the beginning of the Passover. And Jesus is gathered with his 12 disciples to eat and fellowship. The food is ready, but the disciples were not. They argued about, who's going to be sitting at the right of Jesus in the kingdom of heaven. And Jesus is listening to them, and he decides to teach them a lesson on how to be a leader in God's kingdom. And this is what happens according to John. Jesus got up from the table, took off his robe, wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into a basin. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with a towel he had around them. He took them by surprise. They felt humbled. They felt unworthy. They had just learned that to be the greatest, first they must be the least, the servant. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine having Jesus wash your feet? Can you imagine what they felt like? Because it was a custom in that time, to wash people's feet, when they came to your house. But it was a custom it was a task, I should say, that was reserved to the servants, to the slaves, if you will. It wasn't a pleasant task. It was something that that not everyone would do. They would have the servants, the slaves, do this. And here's Jesus washing their feet, and the disciples are feeling humbled. They're feeling unworthy, but they're learning that to be the greatest, they first have to be the last, the servant. And that's a lesson that we should constantly learn. We need to have that attitude of service, because when we invite to the table, it is to serve. When we invite to the table, it is to give. When we invite to the table, we are practicing leadership according to Jesus. We are serving. We are saying, I'm inviting you to the table because I want to serve you, because I want to be the least, and I'm serving. And so in this Passion Week, we've learned the examples that Jesus left us to follow. He showed us his kingship on Monday when he entered as king. He asks us to maintain our temples clean of all corruption on Tuesday when he cleaned the temple. He reminds us that we have a spiritual authority to dismiss any case brought against us by the enemy because of what happened on Tuesday. He invites us to have the correct attitude of worship before his presence. This is what happened on Wednesday. And today he is modeling a leadership based on service. But it doesn't end there. There's a grand finale to this week, to this Passion Week, this Holy Week. It is the most glorious finale that we could ever have. This is to be continued.